Hey everyone, welcome to another week. I've been having a few people going to BNI meetings, and I went to a BNI meeting myself week before last. So I want to chat with you a little bit about this 30-second commercial that everyone talks about. And everybody talks about an elevator pitch or your 30-second commercial. And so let's just chat this week about what that really means. Because we not only use this when we go to networking groups, but we in many cases are going to use it when we introduce ourselves to other business owners or even referral partners. Okay. The whole point of this 30-second commercial is, it is exactly that. It's a commercial. It's a way for you to tell a story that's going to get people to buy your brand, right? So when we watch TV commercials, Ford has a very different TV commercial than BMW does. And each of them is going to attract a very different audience. And so we have to understand that our commercial is not meant for everyone. Our commercial is going to be unique to the audience that we want to speak to. So that's number one. Before we can even do that, we have to understand that audience. And so if you haven't put any time into really developing who this ideal client is, what this ideal market is, and I may have multiple markets, right? So if I'm working in an affinity market like hiking, it's going to be a very different 30-second commercial than if I'm at a BNI group. BNI 30-second commercial might be very different than a commercial that I do if I'm calling on business owners or I'm looking for referral partners. And so understand that you may have to have multiple versions of this that all start with, who am I trying to talk to? Who am I trying to attract? So we have our customer built, we have our ideal client built. Then we have to understand that this 30-second commercial has to speak specifically to them. We have to be telling a story that's going to attract the ideal client that we've just described. Okay? There's a few ways we can go about that. And so let me talk to you about those few sort of insights, those few approaches to creating a commercial or to creating an introduction that's going to be used in one of these situations. First and foremost, you have to understand that when you introduce yourself to somebody, a little bit, inside their head, the same thing's going on, which is, who are you? What do you want? And what's in it for me? And what I would tell you is the answer to the third one should always be help. I want to help you. I want to help you do X, Y, Z. We'll get more specific in that a little bit later. But first and foremost, we need to identify who we are. And that doesn't mean that I'm MJ from Denver, Colorado. That means, who am I in the big sense? What do I do, right? I'm an award-winning performance expert and best-selling author. That's who I am in the sense of this introduction. And so that's what we're focusing on. Is who are you in the large sense, in the global sense of who are you? Okay. What do I want? I always want to help. And what's in it for them? Help. So I know that sounds redundant, but that sort of has to be worked into this introduction. If you look at another way, you can always say, I help people to do X because of X. I help people to increase their sales because I have a unique approach to how we go to market. You can do that the opposite. Because so many people struggle with sales, I help to double their current amounts, or I help to add an additional 40 transactions, whatever that case is. So these are all just thought processes that you're going to have to walk through on your own, but understanding that number one is, who are you in a big sense? What do you want? I want to help you. What's in it for me? You save money every month. You don't waste money on rent. Whatever that is. You guys, if you get a rough draft of this and you want to email me, I'd be more than happy to walk through it with you. So we have to understand, we have to know who our client is. We have to have a message that speaks directly to them, which is, who are you in the big sense? What do you want to help? What's in it for me? Whatever that help is to that market for you. Understanding that we do something because of something, right? Because you have so many choices for a realtor. I help you to do something better. I have a proven system that markets your home better. I will help you close faster. I will help you save money every month, whatever that is. I help. I do this because of this, or because of this, I do this. It's either way, however you're more comfortable saying it. But if you have the because statement, they know why you're there, right? Who are you? What do you want? What's in it for me? When I talk about that because statement, that's an implied why. Okay, so I help people because you can easily get tricked into getting the wrong mortgage. You can easily work with someone who's going to take far too long to sell your home. They're not going to price it right, or whatever you feel your sort of value is that you can bring to somebody. Keeping in mind, we talked about if 80% of the other people in your industry can say that, you're really not unique. It goes back to that unique value proposition. But see, these are the kind of things that we need to spend time on, that need to be very well thought out. Because what happens when we do is we separate ourselves. When we separate ourselves, then we start to attract clients instead of chase clients. We have to talk to a far fewer number of people to get the same amount of closings, which frees up time for us. So it's a very fluid and effective process, a very fluid and effective approach to try and grow our business, because it's not just about more and call more people. It really is about, let's get precise about how we talk to people. So the first thing we do is we identify the market. The next thing is we explain who we are in the big sense, what we want to help, what's in it for them, lower payment, faster sale, whatever that value statement is to you. Keeping in mind, you can always talk about, because of this situation, I do this, or I do this because of this situation. So as you sort of weave that all together, if you just write those bullet points down, you can start to see it resembles very effective and logical, very processable information for the human mind. And then you just fill in the sentences so that it actually sounds like something you'd say. So it sounds that it's the way you speak. One of the challenges we have when we create these commercials is we talk about what we want, and we start hitting people with, all this sort of buzzword stuff and acronyms, and we come up with these clever little sayings at the end, and it's just not the way we talk. And one of the things we want is, we're writing this because it's all stuff we believe, but it's stuff we want to be able to deliver in a very sincere manner, so that we can say this in a fluid manner. And it sounds sincere because it is, and it doesn't sound gimmicky, and it doesn't sound robotic, and it doesn't sound sales-like. It just truly is a statement about who I am in the big sense, what I want to help you, and what's in it for them, whatever that value statement is, right? So I'm an award-winning sales performance expert and best-selling author. I want to help you double your sales, because I know in this competitive marketplace it's really difficult to gain additional customers. So I'm going to work with you to be different and be better. Okay? So I kind of walked you through just a little bit of a conversation, a few seconds of who I am in the big sense, what I want to help you, what's in it for them, right? Double sales. Because of this, I do this. Very, very simple, but very effective. So when you're creating these pitches, these 30-second commercials, just keep those principles in mind. Number one, I have to know who I'm talking to. Because if I give a BMW commercial, and it's the greatest thought-out commercial in the world, but only 4 truck buyers are watching it, it's not going to work. So I have to understand first who I want to talk to. Once I understand very specifically who they are, then I craft this 30-second commercial, and it speaks to them directly. Because I tell them who I am in the big sense, what I want to help you, what's in it for them. Lower payments, quicker closing, better marketing, whatever your deal is. Keeping in mind, 80% of the other agents or LOs can say it, you're not unique, and it's a terrible commercial. I do this because of this. Because of this situation, I do this. So those are the components of the commercial. And what I'd like for you guys to do is create your own 30-second commercial. Create your own pitch, okay? If you ever have to introduce yourself in front of a group, this is what you want to do. And it's very succinct, and it's very targeted. It's very special, so you can tweak it for whatever group you're in front of. And you should have multiple 30-second commercials depending on what channel your customer's watching, depending on what group you're in front of. Because if I'm talking to a group of referral partners, then my value proposition is very different than I can close faster or I do better marketing. It's about helping them grow their business. It's about all the connections that I have in the community. So just understand, you may write more than one, but I'd like you to do kind of a general one that's to your target customer, your ideal customer. You're going to tell them who you are in the big sense, what you want, which is to help, and what's in it for them. A very quick value statement of whatever that means to them. You follow that up with, because of this situation, I do this, or I do this because of this situation. Put those 5 components in, and I've repeated them a ton of times, so you guys don't have to keep watching this video. But write those bullet points down, fill in some sentences around it, and then go ahead and put that at the bottom of your worksheet for this week. And we're going to want to practice this over and over and over again, because we want to be able to remember that. Okay? Every single time somebody asks you about yourself, every single time you're introducing yourself in front of a group, that's what we want to do, is we want to really dig into those components, right? Because I'm speaking to my ideal customer, telling them who I am in the big sense, telling them what I want to help, what's in it for them, whatever that unique value is, and then following that up with, because I do this, or because of this situation, I do this, or I do this because of this situation. So go ahead and get these worksheets printed out. Make sure this is the best week of points that you've had to date. We're halfway through the year. It's not long before we have to accumulate those numbers we did on the critical number sheets. Hope you guys are remembering to do that, because in October, those are going to be really, really important for us going into 2020. We're going to have the biggest years we've ever had. So you guys have an amazing night. You're always welcome to call me, text me, or email me with questions. If you're having trouble with this exercise, feel free to reach out to me, and I can probably help you through getting something put together. Best of luck to you, and we'll see you next week.